Welcome back, sweet friends. My name is Tawanda. This is Tawanda's Best Life. Today I will be joining my sweet friend Felicia at BOK Media Life for a Thursday Thrift Twist collaboration. If you love transforming inexpensive thrifted finds into beautiful high-end decor, you're in the right place. I'm going to go ahead and take you along to one of my favorite thrift stores, the Repurpose Project, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. Sweet friends, I ended up choosing this tablecloth. It was 50 cents, but it was actually on sale for 25 cents. I went ahead and cut out a section of the tablecloth, and then I'm going to use this barn red paint along with some of the white chalk paint and some Mod Podge. I was just trying to show you the paint brushes. I was trying to figure out which one I was going to use. Cutting board is from Dollar Tree, and so we're going to go ahead and start to paint. So I don't know if you guys remember last year for my Christmas decor in my kitchen and in my dining room, I actually decorated my plate setting that I have. It's actually the same pattern. And so I actually didn't realize that until I got this home. But here is one of my plates. I'm going to be using this same plate for Christmas decor this year also. But you can see that it matches. I'm going to go ahead and start painting my cutting board. I'm going to use the Adirondack chalk paint to paint like a square around a cutting board. And then I'm going to use my blow dryer to dry it. Once it's completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and start to add some squares using the barn red paint. And here I'm just trying to figure out what size brush I want to use and trying to figure out if my squares will be evenly. I'm also going to use a sponge brush to try and get my squares as even as possible. Here I'm just doing like a bit of a dry run to kind of see if it's going to look okay, and I think it looks fine, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. I'm doing that. I'm going to go ahead and tell you briefly a little bit about my sweet friend Felicia at BOK Media Life. She also has a second channel, BOK Media Food Freaks. She's also known as the Lamp Queen, and on her channel you will find budget-friendly thrift makeovers, home decor, and creative DIY projects. If you enjoy seeing everyday items turn into something unique, you're going to love Felicia's channel. I will have the link to her channel and to her video in my description box. If you can go ahead and click on the link, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. If you're already subscribed, thank you for continuing to support my channel. I really do appreciate it. And I would like to thank all of my new subscribers for joining my YouTube family. My name is Tawanda. This is Tawanda's Blessed Life. And on my channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. And if that is something that you are interested in, please consider joining my YouTube family. I would greatly appreciate it. Here I am adding the rest of those squares to my cutting board, and then I realized that once I put the tablecloth picture onto the cutting board, I could actually see the squares. So then I decided I was going to paint the back of the tablecloth white so that it would give it a more clear picture and we wouldn't be able to see the red popping through the paper. And then once it was completely dry, I went ahead and added some Mod Podge and attached it to my cutting board. I think it is so cute. I love it. And then I decided that I was going to sand it some, and I probably should have, what I should have done was, instead of cutting it just a square, I should have went ahead and just used I should have wetted and then kind of just tore some pieces off to give it more of a rustic feel to it. But here I am. I did not do that. I am actually using my sanding block, and then I decided that it just wasn't going to work. So once I attached it to the cutting board, I did go over it and sand some areas just to give it more of a rustic feel to it. And I think it actually ended up turning out pretty nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my heat press to attach the picture to my cutting board. I also went back and sanded around the edges just to give it a more distressed feel to it. And then once that was done, I decided I needed something else. So then I went back and added some of the Waverly Antique Wax to darken it up just a little bit. And those areas where I sanded some of the paint back to give it more of a rustic feel to it. And then once that was done, I went back over it with my Mod Podge. I gave it one coat. And then I had a piece of scrap fabric, and so I went ahead and tied it into a shoestring bow. The fabric actually matched the scarf that one of the swimmies had on, and I went ahead and hot glued that bow to the top of my cutting board. And that is going to be it for this DIY, and that is going to be it for today's video. I would like to thank you all for spending part of your day with myself and my sweet friend Felicia at Be Okay Media Life. My hope is that we inspired you all today to go ahead and buy some of those unique items at the thrift store to create some budget-friendly thrift flips. And that is going to be it for today's video. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.